Okay, y'all come in whenever you want. Y'all can come in too if you want. Just hang out and watch. You can bring your beverage in. Oh, she's gonna take some pictures.
All right.
So we got a free clinic, Treasure Coast Clinic. Let's listen in.
It's very rare to me. Don't let us fool you. These courts are packed nonstop, but we wanted to accommodate everybody. Leo, you can tell everybody a little bit about what that's like. Leo's run over 160 tournaments in Dallas. Super impressive, but just kind of tell everybody what you dealt with doing these draws.
Well, first of all, I'm glad that everybody got to get into the tournament. That was the big thing, was the tournament sold out, and probably took a few more than we should have, but it's hard to turn people away when people just want to play racquetball. So didn't really turn anybody away, but at the same time, the people that we didn't turn away also all of a sudden said they couldn't play on Friday. So we get that, and people have to work, but just kind of remember, do what you can, take a day off from work. I know it's hard for some of us, but you got to plan for it, because it doesn't affect just you. If you're playing doubles, it affects 3 other people if one guy can't play on Friday. So that means 3 other players don't get to play. And you can't really run a tournament in 2 days. It's tough because you have to hurry, especially in the A's. You have to get through so many rounds, and you can't just try to squeeze it all in because a handful of people couldn't play on Friday.
But not everybody's early to meet 2 or 3 hours. Thank you. So, what I want to do real quick, we have a little bit of time.
Let's do a clinic.
Yeah, we'll do a little Q&A. A way that I always really learned, no matter what level it was I like to listen to the best players in the world. And I just feel that there's always questions about how to improve. And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be mechanical, technical, strategy, prep, whatever it may be. And why don't we just take this time to, maybe go over a few questions and then we'll jump out of here.
If somebody has a question, raise your hand and I'll just get it on the mic. All right, we'll start with Devin.
So I have a question. How do you prepare for a game, like your mindset?
So yeah, how I prepare, we should have did the two mics now. So how I prepare is, first off, I want to know exactly the opponent I'm playing, the situation, and then my mindset is always the same. Training and preparing for that moment is already done. I know this sounds cliche, but once the door closes and it's 0-0, it's over. It's too late, right? So the training and the preparation starts long before. But my mindset, to really generalize it, is I'm going to go out and play my game. I'm not worried about what Jesse does or what you do or Keith does or Eduardo is going to do tonight. I'm going to play my game, and I'm going to be prepared to do what I do. And then if you beat me doing that, well, then I'm going to go back and I'm going to work harder and I'm going to get better at all those other things. But too many times, especially at the amateur level, we're like, oh, Kevin doesn't hit his backhand as well as his forehand, so let me attack his backhand. Well, even at the amateur level, they're going to make adjustments, right? I don't want to think about that. That's just noise, static. I'm just going to go play, right? We're trying to create opportunities, and then we want to execute the opportunities.
If you guys have questions,
I'm always going into it that I'm prepared, I'm ready, but I know that I prepared properly, right? I wasn't in the court wasting my time daily, or not in the court for that matter, okay? So every moment, no matter what the score, situation, tournament, wherever we are, whatever we're doing, I know that I trained properly for those moments, whether it's the Treasure Coast Series or the US Open Pro Division. I'm ready. A lot of visualization. I'm thinking about that. I'm seeing it. I'm never going in empty-handed mentally, if that makes sense. I'm always prepared, but I'm preparing well before that moment. So I guess if you really dumb that down, I'm prepared before that moment even comes up.
You can clip that now if you don't want.
Okay, go ahead.
Anybody have a question?
So with that, the question he just asked you, is that also mentally part of your game plan, playing the opponent that you know you'll be playing at that time?
Yeah, I always want to know, if Rick's a lefty, right? You'd be amazed. Somebody's playing and 5 points in, oh, I didn't even know they were a lefty or a righty. So those things, that game plan, yeah, I always want to know what strengths, weaknesses, or here's a word to remember, tendencies. We all have tendencies, right? Too often it's well, you know, what's Lily's strength? What's Jesse's weakness? Forget that. I want to know what their tendencies are. What's a tendency? Anytime I lob serve, Gene cuts it off. That's a tendency. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a strength or a weakness, right? I don't care. I'm not going to give you more strength than what you have or don't have. Okay? We all know some of the best players in the world, right? Kane Wazelenchuk. What's his strength? Everything. You know, what's his weakness? Could be everything. That's high level. I'm not going to get into that now. That's deep. Yeah, I can. We'll get back to that. But yeah, the game plan matters. I want to go into a game plan. I want to know what your strengths and weaknesses and tendencies are. How about your likes and dislikes? I mean, ask any of my opponents all the years that I was playing professionally, and I guarantee every one of them today will be like, man, I should have lob served your forehand more, or I should have, well, why didn't they do that, you know? But, so yeah, you're always thinking, you always want to prepare for your specific opponent. But again, I'm not playing to John's strengths or weaknesses. I just want to know what they are. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions on that? Because we overplay those strengths and weaknesses a lot. Don't always look at that like that. And then as you go up in level, like Eduardo, you're coming up, we're going to adapt. So don't tell me, well, Leo doesn't have a great forehand, so I'm going to attack his forehand. He's going to adapt, and then it's going to get better. Now what do? I might attack it early. Oh, you like to hit your backhand? I'm going to bring it to you early. I'm going to break that down, then I'm going to come back here. So don't, you know, again, especially at the amateur level, what did we all learn when we're in the service box? Ready? Lily, you know. 0-0, hit a drive serve to the backhand, in this case if they're a righty, to the left side of the court, and then what's the second serve? Oh, I'm going to lob serve. You're seeing a lot more people now, I'm going to attack the forehand, I'm going to attack, you don't even know why you're doing it, but you're doing it, and it's working. Jules, just, thank you, baby. Let Edgar in a little more. Any questions on that, or any other questions?
Anybody have any questions? Anybody have a question?
Edgar?
Jesse?
Gene?
What'd you do to get ready 2 to 3 days before a tournament?
What would I do to get ready 2 to 3 days before a tournament? So I would say, I would call it kind of active rest. I would want to mentally and physically put myself, my mind and body in a position where when I know that event is happening, so if our pro tournament started on a Wednesday, I wanted to be jumping out of my skin come Wednesday. What I didn't want to do, which we see very different today, we see a lot of athletes train here at one level. But you see the best of the best go like that, okay? You have to figure out your body, you have to figure out your mind, you have to figure out what works for you. I didn't overtrain, I didn't overwork, but I certainly didn't underwork or undertrain either. A lot of it was mental and physical readiness, prep. What happens? I could go out today, right? And hey, Edgar, you know, let's play 2 against 1 and work out. What could happen? You could get hurt, right? So I would really dial into certain things. I might say this instead. Gene, Edgar, I'm just going to work on my serves. All you guys have to do is return it. Just get it back to the front wall, and it's your point. So I would create situations that I would then see maybe in a couple of days against the best players in the world. And again, when I was an amateur coming up, doesn't matter what division, I just wanted to compete. I wanted to compete. I wanted to play better. I never wanted to go out and go, yeah, you know, I beat Leo's ass today. Well, I want to work. Jesse's better than me. Want to play?
Would you play the day before the tournament, or would you rest?
Gene said, would you play the day before or would you rest? I would never, ever play games or matches the day before a tournament. I would really, and I think for the amateur level too, this is big, try it. I would dial in on specific shots and serves so that I would go into a match supremely confident, knowing that yesterday I hit 100 of these and they were great. Why might I do that alone? What's a reason? What do you think is a reason that I might do that alone? Instead of saying, hey, Eduardo, let's play a game. Oh, it's not working. Oh, he killed, man. Oh, I'm alone. I'm just dialing in. I'm finding my footwork. I'm finding my contact point. I'm finding my rhythm. I'm moving around in the box. What works? What doesn't? I can't do that if I'm worried about playing a game or a match with a score. So I personally would never play a game or a match the day before a real match in a tournament. In this case too, I guarantee all of you, if you played a match today, yesterday you just drilled, right? And there's different ways to drill and proper ways to drill also. You would feel better and more sharp today. Instead of running around, let's play another game and see what happens. And then if we have to play a game, say you're somebody that wants to compete. We played today, okay? Put yourself in situations. So instead of serve it up, Edgar 0-0, I might say, you know what? Let's do this. Lily, 7 serving 10, tiebreaker. I'm down 7-10. So now I'm competing. I'm mentally getting myself into a situation. 0-0, what do we all do? I do it. I still do it. I got plenty of time. It's all right. Yeah, you're up 2-0, John, I'm good. 10-7, 8-8, 13-12. You know, you move it around, depending on the level. Maybe I say, you know, Devin, here, you serve, and it's 5 serve, you know, it's 13 serving 6. Make that, you know, always creating situational awareness, situational racquetball. It's a big thing in other sports as well. Baseball's huge for it. Baseball's huge. Man on second and third, 1 out, base hit to right field, what do? We don't know what to do, right? We say, oh, we just act instinctually. We don't. We are, but we're trained to act properly. It's like Top Gun. Did I sound like Tom Cruise there, Maverick? That's cool. That's pretty cool. Where's Goose?
Anybody have any questions? You can invite people because there's a bunch of people.
Go ahead, if anybody's got a question. Oh, if any of you watching has a question, Leo can read it because of our new technology. Thank you to our sponsors. Any other questions though? Yeah, Rick. Go.
So during your career, when you're at the absolute peak of your career, top of your game, what was your most exciting match, your most challenging match, and who was that opponent, and what did you have to do to neutralize or beat him?
There's been so many. I'm not at the top and peak right now. Veronica, don't listen. So one that is pretty known, a match that's pretty known, I'm pretty sure you were there, Leo, and I don't know if anybody else was, but it was at the US Open in 2002. And I was playing my best friend, who was at the time ranked #1 in the world, Jason Menino. Have you ever heard of him? Most have heard of him? Okay. And I had won the US Open in 2001. I broke my foot. I'm sorry, I won in 2000. I broke my foot. I couldn't play in 2001, so I came back in 2002. And it was a Friday night, and the way they used to do it was, you know, nobody else was playing in the whole city, it seemed like, and it was just packed. And Jason was #1. I came in at like #9 because I hadn't played in a year. And it was mentally, probably to this day, the toughest match for me to figure out how to approach and go into it. From an excitement level, I'm going to let Leo speak on it as a fan and spectator because he was there. But for me, getting over #1, it's my best friend, brother, family. Maybe doesn't hit it as hard as Cliff Swain or as fast as Kane. Well, actually, as fast as anyone. But he just had a very different game style. He's somebody that finished #1 in the world and won 2 US Opens without hitting a drive serve. Beating everyone, including Cliff and myself and Kane. Go watch it. It's incredible. And yeah, it was just exciting. The thing that I remember, I was down 10-2 in the first, and I came back and won 12-10, and the rest was history. But Leo, you were there as a spectator and fan. What was your assessment of that match?
You know, back then everybody knew, obviously, you know, who Sudsy was, but, you know, the first thing is at this US Open, we got to use the professional tennis draw where they have professional tournaments. So when you walk into this semi-private tennis club, the draw was as big as this back wall. And it started with all the round of 64. When you walk in, it hit you in the face. So every time you came into the club, you knew who was playing, when was playing. You didn't have to go search for a draw sheet or anything. On the way out, it was in your face. So everybody could see which path Sudsy was going to take. So, yeah, that was a huge thing. I think tickets were oversold. There were people all over the floor. You know, these guys would typically just kind of walk off the sidewall and then walk around to the front. I don't even think you could.
Yeah,
do
one of the cool things about that, and if you've ever been to a pro event, I don't know, Kevin, I know you've seen some pro matches. In the US Open, when it was, so to speak, delivered that way, you wouldn't see us hit a ball until it was match time. So there was like another area where we would warm up, and then they would actually introduce us. Then the first time you saw us hit a ball, we were playing the match. So they really treated it, they built up the hype really, really. I mean, we were jumping. There's a picture of me like in the back behind the court, and I'm leaning on a garbage can like this. Some photographer grabbed the picture, and like, were you throwing up? Were you nervous? I was like, no. My heart was going 500 miles per hour because the music is blasted. Like, you really felt like a pro. My hair's standing up thinking about it.
Like baseball, tennis, hockey, you get to see the guys come and skate and throw pitches, and over there, it was almost like a UFC fight.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because the UFC, if you watch it, they come out,
That's right.
they fight. They don't get to spar, they come out and you go out.
And the cool thing about that, by the way, which a lot of people don't know and don't know, so this club was at where Elvis Presley played racquetball. And those courts, so we would warm up in these courts, they called them Elvis's courts, because he would have these crazy racquetball parties. I think his death changed the course, really, the path of what our sport could have been. I mean, Elvis Presley, obviously, I didn't, he was older than me too, but no. I think he died before I was born. I don't know. But, you know, really, historically speaking, had he been alive and survived, it would be like, I don't know, like, I don't know, who's a famous...
He'd have been our biggest supporter, I think.
Yeah.
He had a key to that. He had a key to the place.
Could have changed the path of racquetball. Yeah, I don't... But I think, I don't know, it looks like Keith, do we have... Keith Lewis, our tournament director, do we have some matches coming in now? We do. Okay. All right, good. So any questions online that anybody has for any racquetball strategy, clinic, mechanics, anything? We good?
Robert Lyons always says you're always giving back and one of the few real players.
Thanks, Robert. Get over here.
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Or not to you, obviously, because we worked on it today a little bit. Is what about positioning and contact point? Because when we worked today, you kept telling me I was moving. You're watching my movement prior to your hit. So when's your contact point? When do you decide where you're going with the ball?
So Keith is talking about in doubles, okay? And what he was doing was he was overcommitting. All right. So when you're playing doubles, even singles, sometimes you'll see a lot of high-level players. It almost looks like we're not engaged or trying, right? Like
type it in the
optically,
comments,
this is engaged
please.
and trying, right?
Questions
What
for
you
Sudsy.
see a lot of the pros do is we're kind of like walking into position, right? We're stalking, and then we're ready. But there's a reason. All right. How many of us have played this person? We all have. Ready? I hit it, and then I go. Then I hit it. Right? We see that all the time. So what I was telling Keith was, I'm holding my shot, waiting for him to commit. Why?
Gives you more options.
Now I just know exactly what to hit.
You guys.
Whereas if a high-level pro's on the court, or what I'm doing to him, as he's hitting, Kev, pretend you're just about to hit a shot. I'm kind of walking into position, and I'm never letting him see where I'm at. So I'm not saying stand straight up. But I'm not, even if I'm in the right position, he now knows. But if I'm kind of walking, he's setting up, and I'm looking, and then boom. I'm also looking at which way his racket's faced. If I'm standing like this, where's the ball going to go? And then what's it going to do? It's going to go that way, right? So we look really fast. Oh, it looks like they're not even trying. We've been on the court tens of thousands of hours, and we know which way it's going to bounce before you even hit it. We can hit a ball, and I could say, Leo, Lily's going to splat this because I'm going to put it right there, and she's going to splat it, and it happens often. So, and we're also holding our shot, right? So we have I don't have a ball. It's amazing we're on racquetball court. So the ball, you know, yeah, you want to grab one? Tournament director extraordinaire, ball.
you guys have questions, type them
We
in
have
the chat.
plenty of balls. Hi, Edgar.
Questions, type them
good
in
to
the
see you.
chat. For Subsea.
So a lot of times, you know, ball's coming, let's just say it's coming off the back wall like this, right? We could wait, and then make a decision. Where a lot of times also you'll see this, and it's just attack it quick, right? We're holding to see what you're doing. So a split second, hold, and then we can decide. Instead of overcommitting. But what Keith was saying was, yeah, he might say, you said about playing Veronica. You said you have no idea where to go, what to do. Right.
Thank you for the question. Thank you for the question, Richard. Hi, Micah. Hi, Skip. Hi, Kenneth. Hi, Robert.
Lost
Frank.
on the court because of their contact point, knowing the contact and the angles they're doing. Even when you're watching them, as amateurs, we have no idea. And I'm a high-level amateur player. So it's amazing.
I don't know. I hope that answer helped a little bit. Wow, it's a little rainy. And that's closed for a reason, but it's okay.
I have a question.
All right, we'll take one or two more questions? Okay.
And then somebody else get ready for questions. Richard online says, why grab the entire racket handle instead of the bottom three like most other players?
So I don't think, Richard, that there's, you know, why to, obviously there's a camera there. I actually hold it with about 2.5 fingers. So if you could see that, okay? That's how I hold it, super low like that. I know that somebody else in this court has their grip extended like that. And I think that's legal or not, it's nonsense. Here it's okay. So, you know, it's traditionally we were all taught, I believe, right? Put the butt of the racket in the palm of our hand, okay? Over time, a lot of players started dropping it and holding it a little bit lower. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to how you hold it. I hold it pretty low. I know a lot of, you know, that's literally how I hold the racket. I wouldn't teach that. I wouldn't take any of you and say, this is how I want you to hold it. But if you went from the traditional start like we all did to dropping down a little bit, because, and I also think, we think because it's an extension of our hand, I need to hammer it. No. At any given time in a rally, okay, I have no tension on this grip. Spin that head, like turn that racket. It's like that. The only time that tenses up is at contact. So throughout the whole set, same thing, and then here I start to grip the racket. Anybody get arm pain? Does anyone get arm pain or shoulder pain? No? That's impressive for racquetball players. A lot of times, besides mechanically, you're just constantly engaging all of those muscles in your arm, in your forearm, in your shoulder. So you're squeezing it. Relax, lighten up. Here's a visual, check this out. All right, the person that holds it too hard, these are how we size people up. Like we don't have to see you hit a ball, but we could see little things. If I see you walking around the court, look at my racket and hand, like this. Okay? Versus that. Which one looks more like an extension of my hand? First or second? Second, and that's what we want. I'm working here. So are you. Here I'm not. It almost looks like I'm not holding it. Go watch some videos, you'll see it. Almost, I'll go to my left because of that guy Kane. Same thing, you'll see it almost looks like he's not even holding the racket. It's just an extension of his hand. Paola, all the greats, everybody, all you. Don't choke the racket, don't kill it, relax. Make it an extension of your hand. Leo, anything else? Good? All right. No, let's go. Let's get these matches going.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go play some racquetball.
Thank you, sir. Good.
Hi, Micah.
She's a grandma now. She's a grandma.
Mike Gaiman, is his name on this?
I do.
I saw the drum. I got there playing with Mike.
Right.
No worries. Is he okay?
Okay. I'll bring you.